Up with KREM begins now.
Good morning to you, 6 o'clock here on your Thursday. Thanks for joining us here on Up with KREM. I'm Tim Pham. We also want to welcome you in if you're streaming us on KREM 2+. Right now, let's get on over to Brandon T. Jones filling in for meteorologist Thomas Patrick today. So Brandon, what's the weather impact on this Friday Eve?
Yeah, good morning, Tim. Well, I was just saying that if you like those cloudy, gloomy type of days, this one's going to be right up your alley because that's what we're expecting on this Thursday. We're back to those cloudy type of conditions, but also going ahead and preparing for some more snowfall on Friday. We'll talk about how much and when coming up in the full forecast, but today it'll be a little bit cooler.
Here's a live look at the traffic impact this morning from I-90 in Hamilton looking east right now. You can see westbound traffic starting to pick up here in the 6 o'clock hour. We're keeping a close eye on our traffic cameras. No other major slowdowns to report to you at this hour. We'll let you know, though, if anything changes. On Up with KREM, we bring you weather and traffic together every 30 minutes. New this morning, we now know one teen from Welpanit is dead after the Highway 2 crash yesterday morning. This is a story we first brought to you as breaking news on Up with KREM. The Washington State Patrol reports an 18-year-old woman was driving a sedan along Wood Road when she failed to stop at the stop sign at US 2. That's when she drove the car under a semi and got wedged underneath the semi. The two other people inside the sedan, including the driver and a 13-year-old, were seriously hurt. The semi-truck driver was not hurt. This morning, Washington, D.C. is preparing for the funeral of former President Jimmy Carter. His casket has been lying in state in the U.S. Capitol Rotunda since Tuesday evening. Public viewing ended at the Capitol this morning ahead of the procession that will take Carter's casket just a few miles away to the National Cathedral for a state funeral. You can watch it live on KREM 2 right now. Since Tuesday, visitors have been streaming in to say their final goodbyes to the nation's 39th president. Among the visitors today, President-elect Donald Trump, who met with Carter's family before meetings on the Hill.
They were lovely. They were really very sad, but also they were celebrating because he was a very fine man. I knew him a little bit, but I knew him only as a fine man.
Today, roughly 3,000 people will attend the service at the cathedral for President Carter. President Biden will deliver one eulogy, while the other eulogies being read today were written by two men who preceded Carter in death, his predecessor Gerald Ford and his vice president Walter Mondale. Their sons will deliver the eulogies on their behalf. 45 years ago, Jimmy Carter visited Spokane after the Mount St. Helens explosion in 1980. This morning, we're introducing you to our new series on KREM 2+, looking back on history-making events like that one. Here's a look back to the archives.
We interrupt this program for a special report from the Channel 2 newsroom. Here is Beverly Carr.
Good afternoon. President Carter landed at Spokane International Airport about 40 minutes ago. He's been talking with city, county, and state officials since then. We're standing by live at the airport fire station. Mike Goldfein is with the president, who is expected to make a speech. Mike?
President Jimmy Carter visits Spokane right now on KREM 2+. It's free to download on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV. Keep an eye out for more looks back into the KREM 2 archives in the coming months. In the last 24 hours, new fires have sparked in the Hollywood Hills area of California as thousands are trying to evacuate. This morning, we now know at least 5 people have died. Hundreds of firefighters from across the country have been working around the clock to contain these fires. Fire departments are stretched thin, and fire hydrants have run dry because of high demand.
They're exhausted. We need those reinforcements coming in, but they've done incredible work.
As you just heard, California fire officials are waiting for reinforcements. It put out the call for 200 more fire crews to come help and local crews plan to answer the call. 6 strike teams from Idaho have been tapped to head to California, including 9 different fire crews from North Idaho. The North Idaho crews include Selkirk, Paradise Valley, Shoshone County, Kootenai County, Worley, Kamei, Timberlake, Northern Lakes, and Whitebird. Meanwhile, Washington firefighters and supplies are on their way to California at this very hour. The Washington Department of Natural Resources has deployed 10 engines and 35 firefighters to the area from the Evergreen State. Nonprofit World Vision is headed to Los Angeles with a semi-truck of supplies. Fresh water, diapers, and N95 masks were specifically requested by people on the ground impacted by the fires. World Vision's team will head south and is expected to arrive in LA by the end of the week.
Oh no, it's amazing. We love to see people activate in instances where there's a disaster and people need help. Just knowing that the compassionate hearts are out there and that they're willing.
The Red Cross Northwest region is making preparations to send personnel to California if needed. New in the last 12 hours, the Lakeland School District is fighting to combat a $9.5 million deficit in next year's budget. KREM 2's Connor McAvoy was there when the school board discussed what steps it may need to take.
The Lakeland School District is determined to fund the next school year.
What makes this process really frustrating is that there are so many other components that really go along with a financial emergency.
That's Megan O'Dowd, the school district's attorney, phoning into Wednesday's school board meeting. She's explaining what next steps the board needs to take to declare a financial emergency. In order to do this, the board needs to follow a criteria outlined in state code. But she says the most pressing matter is whether or not the board wants to pursue a supplemental levy.
Those discussions would be happening now up until March 31st.
That's the deadline the board has to submit ballot language to the county clerk. Still, declaring a financial emergency isn't fully off the table. But for now, the board's focusing on the supplemental levy.
Okay, so based on the information that we received this evening, it does not appear that we should be declaring a financial emergency at this point in time.
This levy would appear on the May ballot.
It's disappointing. It's sad to see the district go downhill.
Jennifer Huffman is considering moving to the area, but the current state of the district is making her think twice.
I have a 3-year-old great-granddaughter that I take care of, and trying to, I want her to have a great education.
She fears the worst with how the budget deficit may impact the teachers.
The potential for riffing teachers or cutting teacher pay is going to be very sad. Again, it's going to be like one of the public comments that was made. We're going to end up being a district for training teachers, and then they're going to go on to better districts who can pay better.
There's still other components the board needs to consider, including upcoming contract negotiations and preparation of the district's budget.
Time now is 6:08 on this Thursday morning. I've got our live radar pulled up right here for you, and we're not seeing too much activity right now, just mainly clouds rolling in. That'll be somewhat of the trend for you today. Day planner is going to be showing us that throughout the day, we're going to have some cloudy conditions. As for right now, though, winds are moving about 6 miles per hour, so it looks like that has picked up over the last half hour or so, but temperature sitting at 31 degrees. And I'll get into when we could get another chance of some snow coming up in our full forecast.
The city of Spokane is facing lawsuits after the police department's use of deadly force. In the next 4 minutes, we're tracking what it could be costing you. Today, the Seattle Kraken will hit the ice against the Columbus Blue Jackets on KSKN 22, your spot to watch Kraken games all season long. Can the Kraken get a road win? Find out today starting at 3:30 p.m. But first, let's take you live outside to Coeur d'Alene. We say good morning to you, Inland Northwest. Happy Thursday to you. It's almost Friday. Let us know where you're watching from this morning. Grab a cup of coffee and join us for more Up with KREM.